You don't live here anymore. That's what this complete stranger told me as I walked into my own cabin Saturday afternoon. 15 people I'd never seen before sitting around my table like they'd just inherited the place. And there's this blonde woman in a suit looking at me with zero emotion, telling me I'm not authorized to be on my own property. I start laughing because, honestly, what else do you do? But she doesn't blink. She just picks up her phone, dials 911, and starts yelling about a dangerous man breaking into their community meeting. That's the moment I knew. This wasn't just some paperwork screw-up or a prank. This was my reality now. Ever walked into a situation that made you question your own sanity? Yeah, that happened. Let me back up a sec. When my grandfather passed away 3 months ago, I figured inheriting his lakefront cabin would be the one good thing to come out of all that heartbreak. Pine Lake, dock, old trees, the works. I needed a break from my shoebox apartment and my web design hustle that was mostly just fighting for scraps. Then I found the mountain of mail nobody had touched since Grandpa passed, and boom, reality check. 12 grand in overdue property taxes. Penalties stacked like Jenga, interest multiplying so fast it felt like a joke. The county wasn't kidding. I had 90 days to cough up every cent or watch my only inheritance get auctioned off. 12 grand might not sound like the end of the world, but when your main client is Sal's Pizza and you're already dodging your landlord, you start considering weird things. Blood plasma donations, bank loans that get rejected before you finish applying, relatives who hang up the second you mention money. I was 2 days from giving up, ready to let the place go. That's when Amanda Thompson arrived. Business suit, perfect hair, looking like she'd walked off a law firm commercial, briefcase that probably cost more than my laptop. She introduces herself as president of the Pine Ridge Community Homeowners Association. Never heard of it. Grandpa would have had something to say if there was ever an HOA in these woods. But Amanda's ready for everything. County letterheads, legal seals, documents with signatures from people who sound important. According to her, this HOA just got started 6 months ago, part of some government push for mental health services in rural areas. The kicker? My cabin, yeah, the one I'd just inherited, had been voted in as the local health retreat. I'm looking at meeting minutes and photos of grinning strangers in my living room. I don't recognize a soul. Then comes the magic phrase, tax exemption. Complete forgiveness if I let them use the property for therapy weekends. Amanda's got forms ready, all filled out, my grandfather's signature at the bottom. I study it for minutes. Looks right, but something feels off. She's dealing out paperwork like she's running a casino, health department approvals, therapist licenses, all of it. She says veterans, trauma survivors, they'd come for therapy, all funded by grants and insurance. My debts would disappear, and I wouldn't have to do a thing. It sounded too good. But she had letters from grateful vets, testimonials, even an official commendation. Every detail lined up, almost. Then she slid a membership agreement across the table. My signature, dated the month Grandpa died. I know my own handwriting. I never signed it. Amanda shrugs it off. Estate paperwork. Lawyers handle everything. Maybe it slipped in. I wanted to believe her. Desperation'll do that. She handed me a business card, promised the paperwork would be done by Friday. All I had to do was sign an access agreement. Then, before she left, she gave me this smile. Predatory, like she'd just checkmated me, and said, "Let me call my son. He'll be so excited to meet you again." That word, again, gave me chills. 10 minutes later, heavy footsteps on the gravel, Amanda watching like a queen at her window, and in walks my old college roommate, Sean Thompson. The same guy who got himself booted for cheating, the same guy who blamed me for reporting him. He looks at me, and for a second it's like time travel, surprise, then anger, then a weird kind of pride. Amanda introduces us like she's announcing the winner of a contest, venom in her voice. Sean opens his bag, spreads out photos, screenshots of my life, bank statements, even shots of me grocery shopping. They've been surveilling me for months. "You never were very observant," Sean says, all smug. "I've been practicing your signature for months." Amanda smiles, motherly, but terrifying. "We have enough documentation to support any legal action we might need." My blood runs cold. Then Amanda pulls out Sean's college records. "He was destined for Google, Microsoft, Tesla," she says, her voice shaking. "But you ruined him." Sean, meanwhile, is simmering. "You could have kept your mouth shut. You could have let it slide, but you had to be the hero. Their reality? He's the victim. I'm the villain. Amanda tells me, I can cooperate and keep the property or resist and be buried in legal hell. We've already filed violations, she says. Fines start at $5,000. On paper, it looks airtight. 3 days later, a certified letter from the county, $5,000 per violation, 30 days to pay or contest for a non-refundable $2,000. I get cited for unauthorized commercial activity because I work from home, grass too tall, and non-compliance with health regulations. Amanda also files with the state, claiming I'm running an unlicensed business. Now I'm looking at $10,000 in fines and maybe a ban from doing any business at all. When I call the county about the tax exemption, the clerk has never heard of Amanda, her HOA, or the program. Turns out, other folks have called in, fraudulent applications, forged signatures, an ongoing investigation. That's when the psychological warfare starts. Amanda starts live streaming therapy sessions, weekends filled with healing, carefully scripted, professional camera angles, actors for participants. Donations pour in. Insurance is billed for dozens of hours of therapy, but the real sessions barely last a morning. She's not just running a scam. She's running a performance, billing for millions. Now I'm stuck. I try to fight back, but every move I make, Amanda has an answer. Fake reviews, fake witnesses, complaints to the state, even online attacks. That's when Mrs. Clark appears, elderly, sharp-eyed, war survivor. She's been watching Amanda, documenting everything. Her late husband was a prosecutor. She's been collecting evidence, photos, audio, video, linking Amanda to scams at 3 other lakeside properties. Mrs. Clark's plan? Patience. Collect more evidence. Let Amanda get cocky, catch her in the act. We set up cameras, compare notes. Mrs. Clark even discovers Amanda's therapist is a fake doctor with a record of medical fraud. Then Amanda tries to stage a fake county inspection. Her accomplice, dressed as an inspector, starts posting violations. Mrs. Clark calls the sheriff. The deputy arrives, arrests the fake inspector, and Amanda flips out, immediately live streams that she's being persecuted by corrupt locals. Her mistake? She reveals specifics about her operation, insurance billing, treatment protocols, even names, on camera. It's all recorded. Then Amanda starts threatening my family. She calls, threatens to ruin my sister's government job. She even shows up at Mrs. Clark's door, trying to scare her with immigration paperwork. Mrs. Clark records every word. The kicker? Mrs. Clark's granddaughter is with the FBI Financial Crimes Unit. The feds are already watching Amanda. They intercept a call. Amanda's plotting something against my sister, Sarah. Turns out Sarah isn't just my sister. She's a special agent in the State Attorney General's office, Insurance Fraud Division. She shows up with credentials, lays it all out. Amanda is part of a multi-state fraud ring, targeting families of investigators. My nightmare? Not random at all. Amanda picked me because I was vulnerable and related to Sarah. Sarah's team finds out Amanda's been buying files from corrupt insiders, classified info on agents' families, detailed enough to target anyone. The federal task force is closing in, but Amanda moves first, files a complaint with the Inspector General, accuses Sarah of using her job to settle a family vendetta. Now Sarah's under investigation and Amanda's using the oversight process to slow down the feds. But Amanda's complaint accidentally reveals details only someone with inside info would know. It backfires. Now there's proof of a massive security breach. Sarah is temporarily sidelined, but the task force shifts gears. Meanwhile, Amanda spirals into public meltdown. She starts a live stream, confesses to billing fraud, waves around classified documents, exposes her own network, and basically hands the feds everything they need. The whole thing goes viral. Sean, after seeing his mother's breakdown, finally cracks. He's horrified by what he's been dragged into, contacts the feds, wears a wire, gets Amanda on tape planning to frame me for insurance fraud, evidence tampering, you name it. Amanda realizes Sean betrayed her, attacks him on camera, tries to destroy his recording gear, but it's too late. The feds have everything. Law enforcement swoops in, state, county, FBI. Amanda's arrested on live stream, her followers watching in stunned silence as she screams about conspiracies. Her fraud empire collapses. The charges? Wire fraud, insurance fraud, identity theft, evidence tampering, conspiracy, and national security violations for trafficking in classified info. Sean's cooperation saves him from prison. He gets probation and community service. Amanda? 27 years, mental health evaluation ordered by the court. Mrs. Clark becomes a local legend. Her surveillance work helps put away Amanda and brings federal reforms. My property's restored, my taxes paid by the Victim Compensation Fund, my name cleared. My relationship with Sarah, stronger for having survived it. We host real veterans retreats now. The cabin standing for something better than one woman's need for control. You ever have a neighbor turn out to be your worst nightmare? Drop your stories below, because if you think this is the end, let me tell you, life in Pine Lake has a way of delivering one last twist when you least expect it. If this HOA revenge saga had you on the edge of your seat, hit like, share your thoughts on justice, and let me know, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? Is there such a thing as going too far in the name of payback, or does every bully eventually get exactly what they deserve? Let's hear it.